Welcome to the book of 2 Thessalonians. Let me start by reminding you of a few details from 1 Thessalonians. The church in Thessalonica is a young church. Paul was only there 3 weeks before persecution forced him to leave the city, and the Thessalonians were still enduring that same persecution. So Paul is going to send Timothy to see how they're doing, and Timothy returns and he tells Paul, man, the Thessalonians, they're doing great, but there are a few issues which you probably need to address. And 2 of those issues are going to remain front and center in Paul's second letter to Thessalonica. Now, do you remember what our 3 key words in 1 Thessalonians were? Holiness is one, hope is a second, and then third is love. Now, it appears as if the Thessalonians got their act together in the holiness department, and they recommitted themselves to sexual purity. So that's great. Paul doesn't need to write about it. But they still have more questions about their end times hope, and the unrepentant, unloving idol in their community have not repented and changed their ways. So you can kind of see how the structure of 2 Thessalonians works. Just like the first letter, Paul is going to arrange it around a series of prayers that he prays for the community in Thessalonica. And then chapters 1 and 2 are going to address their end times hope. Chapter 1 is going to argue that the future day of the Lord will bring comfort and hope to those who are suffering persecution in the present. And then in chapter 2, he is going to answer yet more questions about the timing of all of these events. And you can kind of see, this is neat, how this chapter is bracketed by a double Thanksgiving. That's pretty unique in Paul to have 2 Thanksgivings like this. And then finally, like I mentioned, chapter 3 is going to be devoted to Paul's second rebuke now of the idol within Thessalonica. Now, in our next lecture, we are going to examine each one of these sections in a little bit more detail.